Cathy, we're in your studio, which is right next to your house, and it's filled, it's like the inside of your imagination, I find, because here are your famous miniatures, all your collections. I see these very often in your tablescapes. Why do you love them so much?
Well, I love them so much. I don't know, I think it might be a gene I have, because my father also seems to love miniatures, as does one of my sisters. When I was growing up in Chicago, I loved going to the Thorn Rooms. And I think I just became fascinated with the Thorn Rooms, and I still go there. And I just find as I'm getting older, I keep referencing sort of vintage things and things I vaguely remember from my childhood or my grandparents would have in the house.
Where do you find this stuff?
I find it mostly on eBay. Also think it's really funny on the table to put like bromo seltzer or castor oil.
I love it. And they actually look really good the way you do it with your flowers. It's not like you just do a whole table only with miniatures.
Yeah.
You combine them with florals, and it's got this very enchanted quality about it, but it doesn't take itself too seriously.
Exactly, but it's like the flowers are pretty enough and the tablescape's nice enough. I can get away with putting somebody sitting on a bed or put, a bathtub, and I put little bubbles in the bathtub. So it just becomes my own little fantasy world going on.
Look what you've done. Oh my gosh, this is what I was hoping you would do. This is like your signature, beautiful, so unique arrangement. I love it.
Thank you so much. Well, I start by going to the flower market, and then if it's a Wednesday or a Saturday or a Monday, I'll go down to Union Square, and that's where I really get inspiration to make something unusual. I mean, I find sort of things that I have no idea what the names are.
Is this a vegetable?
It is a vegetable. It's some sort of beet, I think. Anyway, it's got a name that's really hard to say.
But what draws you to it? Why do you love it? I love it too.
I love it because it sort of looks like Dr. Zeus or something, and I think it's sort of fun to have the design on the table. So I'll just sort of place them around.
It's kind of graphic, right?
As I did the turnips. I also found these beautiful beans, and I just thought they were so pretty.
What a great
And since
idea.
I don't cook, I just put them on the table.
In little bowls. And the key, and I want to copy this immediately, is to have all the fun vessels at hand, because if you don't have them, you won't do it, right?
Everything here on the table is pretty much from eBay.
I heard you mention turnip earlier, and I was like, she didn't actually say turnip. There's a turnip on this table, and it looks completely at home. And look at this, just one stem of ivy. There's so many great ideas here, and it's a big circle. It's almost like a lazy Susan of flowers.
Exactly. Well, I like to sort of think of it as a Whitman sampler, like those boxes of chocolates where you have a little bit of everything. You just mix high and low, so I do very teeny, tiny little things.
Would these Phillips tablets qualify for low or high?
That's low.
Okay. I love it.
Low on many levels. And the whole thing is if you sit down, you should try to see whoever's sitting across from you. So if I have a very thin stem, I can go a little taller.
You were saying in your book that you don't love, you never want to have a tablecloth that overly competes. It's really, do you usually use almost a white or cream, or do you sometimes do patterns?
I do patterns, but when I do patterns, I probably, if it's a big floral pattern, then I'll do a big bowl of fruit or lots of different fruit on the table.
Got it.
So it's a mix, and I love little tiny prints too. But this is sort of the most pure, is using just a cream linen, and then you really see the colors. And at night with the candlelight, it's very pretty.
So this is the floral nerve center, when you say, like this, look at this.
Yes, this is the
here are the vessels.
And here are my vessels.
Oh,
and
I love this. I feel privileged to get to see this.
Here. So crazy
Are
about
these roots?
Yes. They're for some sort of medicinal tea, but I just love the way they look. And at Christmas time last year, I painted them white and put glitter on them and put them on the table.
Of course you did. And I was one step ahead of you. I was thinking one could perhaps paint these.
Yes,
oh, here are beans.
Here are my beautiful beans that I found.
By the way, for people that may not have a budget to get the extraordinary peonies or single stems, what have you, this costs nothing.
No, it costs nothing, and they're wonderful. And then you can even mix them with lemon leaves to make it sort of bright and green. Just stick them in a bowl, and it's unusual, but the color is just beautiful. And here are my watermelon radishes.
So you don't need to have hundreds of dollars to create something beautiful on a table.
Absolutely not.
Just pick some radishes, some grapes.
And with the single flowers, you don't need that many flowers.
You're right.
So it's very economical, and the wonderful thing with fruit is you can use it on the table and then you can eat it afterwards.